What's up guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the gaming performance in Parallels desktop on the MacBook Pro 13-inch with 16GB of RAM. Subscribe if you want to, it would help me a lot with the work on my channel. Let's get straight to the topic. So in my previous video I already showed to you how to install Parallels desktop. So this is not what I'm gonna be doing in this video. I'm just gonna show you the prompts, show you some games that work and games that don't work. And so we come to the first thing, that is the problems on Parallels that I faced so far. The first problem is you have no audio, so doesn't matter from Windows or games, you cannot hear anything. Second thing is you have only the standard drivers from Windows. That means it doesn't take the full potential of the graphic card, and also you have only DirectX 11. You don't have support for DirectX 12. I think that's also a problem why you cannot run many games. And because you are running on an ARM architecture, many games don't start because it has to emulate them, and at the moment it's not so still in the beginning, the ARM architecture on Windows. So I'm sure there are gonna come more and more updates, but it's just gonna take more time until everything runs more smooth on ARM. But that doesn't mean it's not possible, just the experience is not good yet. But anyways, let's come to my configuration. I'm gonna be using my MacBook Pro 13-inch with 16GB of RAM, and I'm gonna give 8GB of RAM to Parallels. So that means it's supposed to have 4GB for Windows and 4GB for the graphic card because they share the memory. So yeah, let's get straight to CSGO. I will already disappoint you. The game doesn't start. I think that's the exact problem with the graphic driver. I tried to start it and you're gonna see it now. There will come an error message and it's telling me here your graphics hardware does not support all features. That usually comes from the graphic driver. I open the DirectX diagnostic tool, and here you can see approximately it has 4GB of RAM. The DirectX level is 11, so it must be DirectX 11, up to DirectX 11 support. And yeah, but there's no driver at the moment from Apple for the graphic card, so yeah, there's nothing that you can do. The next game is Black Mesa, Half-Life Black Mesa. It's a really nice game, I think. Has really nice graphics. They improve the game all the time, but also the same problem. It starts, or it's about to start, and then it just will turn off. Also must be some kind of driver issue. I don't know exactly what the problem is because it doesn't give me any error message. So next game is Left4Dead. Already a really old game, but still really nice in my opinion. That game was running quite good, I would say. There was no problem starting it. I just put up the resolution a little bit to 1680 to 1050, and I went here in the advanced settings. I thought I put the graphics a little bit down because they were a little bit everything was on high, so I thought I put it to medium. Just so the game runs smooth. And vertical sync off, because yeah, we'll just put the performance down. I couldn't get the FPS counter running. Somehow I couldn't open the Steam overlay. I don't know why. Later I was activating it in settings, but somehow it didn't show me the FPS counter. So here we are in the game. Here it runs without any problems. But you're gonna see if you go outside of the map, like outside of the room, as soon as it has to load the textures and everything, it's gonna get a little bit spiky, like you get some spikes, but as soon as it loads the textures, it actually runs good, like without any problems. Here you can see it's like actually running quite well, but of course, like, it's already an old game, but I mean, it runs quite well. Here you can see it's already beginning to get laggy a little bit. And yeah, you can see also there's no audio. I had to put the sensitivity a little bit up because it was so low. I don't know, that's also a problem in the games all the time. The sensitivity in Windows is normal, but when you go inside an app or a program, it's immensely like down. So I'm gonna put up the resolution to full HD, a little bit up the anti-aliasing to 4 times, and the texture is also a little bit higher. There was no problem, it still ran well. And I'm just gonna put here also the filtering mode higher. Yes, so you can see it runs without any problems. Just sometimes the spikes when it has to load new textures, but you always have to consider you're playing here on Windows standard drivers, so I think like that's totally fine. Yeah, like if the game is completely playable, it's no problem. And I'm gonna be setting the resolution a little bit higher, just for checking out, and also the graphics in general. Let's see what happens if I put it to very high and vertical sync off, and I put it to the native resolution of the display. Here you can see it looks really nice, but it's getting quite buggy. And here you can see already it's like having graphic problems with the shadow. But it's still playable, but I could feel that the FPS were already going down. We're probably hitting like 40, 30, 40 FPS. And also here you could see big spikes when events happen, like explosions and stuff. So yeah, on this resolution is not so well to play. Here you can also see some spikes all the time. But I mean, yeah, like we have to consider we're on a 2K resolution, so it's okay, like we're just playing here on a MacBook. But anyways, for a smoother experience, I'm gonna put down the shader detail and effect detail. And it already runs better. And yeah, like I think, like, of course this game is so old already, but I remember that this game used to be like one of the best games that were out. The problem is you can, like I tried other games too, like Cyberpunk in my other video doesn't start. Other games were like Warzone, I also tried. It won't start. So at the moment, this is one of the only games I can try out in parallels at the moment. So yeah, I think you saw enough of Left4Dead now. And here's just one last explosion. The missile, yeah, runs well. Okay, let's go to the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. First I had the problem I couldn't start the game. It would tell me that some files were missing. Those files are from DirectX 9. So I just had to download and install DirectX 9. It's like quite easy. And after I installed the drivers, I tried to start it again. And it worked. I got inside the game. And then I decided, okay, I'm first gonna check the graphics settings. And you can see it's already on full HD resolution. Everything was set to low, except the screen space ambient occlusion was activated. I don't know exactly what that is, but I just thought I will deactivate it so it would run smoother. And let's get inside the game. Here you can see it's no problem. The game loads. It's actually not running so bad at this moment. The only problem I have is the same. You can see the mouse sensitivity is really, really low. So I'm gonna put it a little bit higher. Otherwise it's almost impossible to move. I'm gonna put it this high, and yeah, it's already better, but a little bit higher. Okay, so now we can walk around, but here you can already see it has like some big spikes when it has to load the world, the textures. But I can tell you, as soon as it loads those textures, the game runs well. But of course, it's not nice to experience, but yeah, like all the time consider you're here on standard Windows drivers, so I think anyways it's really good that it runs so well. Then here you can see as soon as it loads those textures, it will run well. But of course here in the open world it has to load a lot of textures while you're walking, moving. But as soon as it got these textures loaded, it's actually like running well. Of course the graphic is really down, but as I said already before, you're playing here on a MacBook, and if they would optimize the game for M1 processors, and if you would run the game inside macOS or not in a virtual machine, it would run a lot better. But considering those facts, I would say it's actually running quite well. So just gonna walk a little bit here in the world. You can see in the water the reflections look quite nice. Yeah, here is a big spike, but as soon as it got those textures loaded, it's not so laggy. Just gonna go one more time inside the town. Yeah, here also, as soon as something new is coming, new textures, effects, it's like laggy, but then the second kill you could see it was not so laggy anymore because it already had the blood texture loaded. And here one last run a little bit outside. Yeah, like as I said, not bad the experience, but of course not the best. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is the next game, the last game that was working. It's actually also no problem to start it. It actually works. The resolution was really high. I don't know if you could see it. It was like higher than 2K, and anti-aliasing is up to 4 times. Yes, shadows on, specular map on, everything. And I couldn't find any online match because I think the game is already dead, like nobody's playing it. So I host my own game, and my only enemies were the little chickens here. Here's the same problem like that we saw already in Skyrim. As soon as it has to load those textures, you're gonna have big spikes. But when those textures got loaded in, it's like running quite steady. Here's loading new, and then we come back where it already got loaded. It's working well. And then we come to a new area. Again, he has to load textures, come some spikes, but all in all you can actually play the game, yeah. But of course needs a lot more optimization for gaming. And we come then to one last game, that is Lost Ark. One guy in the comment section asked me if I could try it out, and I installed the game and everything, which was a real struggle. But if I want to try and run the game, you can see the driver has been blocked from loading. I saw one guy from Reddit has the same problem, but I couldn't figure out what the exact problem is, why it doesn't work. But I guess it's the same thing like with the other games, some kind of driver issue. Let's hope Apple will release a Windows M1 graphic driver, so we're gonna have a better experience on Parallels. So anyways guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you didn't like, dislike, but let me know in the comment section what I can do better. Or if you have a game that you would like me to try out, just put it down in the comment section. I would appreciate if you give me a subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.